Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hope Mess Tom and this is Messmas. If you are new to my channel, I am in the midst of a 6-month no-buy. This is the last month of the 6 months, and so I'm spending a lot of time being critical not only of new makeup releases but also my own collection. This is part of a month-long project that I am doing. I am trying to post every day for December. We will see how it goes. It's gonna be, this content that I'm doing in this video is intermixed with other normal content that I do. And what we're doing today, we are continuing my box experiment. So what we are doing is the box is now getting heavier, so I don't know how many more appearances it's gonna make. But what I'm gonna do is put on a full face of makeup today. And when I'm done with the items that I used today, they're gonna go in this box, meaning I can't use these items again until I have completely used up everything in that category. So if I've used all of my bronzers, I can pull all my bronzers back out and we start rotating them in again. The reason for this project is that I don't feel like I know my makeup collection very well. And the hope is that I get to touch things and use things that I either don't use often or haven't used in a long time and either refresh my opinion on them or if I don't like them, get them out of my collection. Today we're gonna keep it pretty easy breezy. The first day I did something really intense. The second day I did something much easier. So today we're gonna do something kind of in between. I wanna do an underliner look, I think is what I wanna do. But I do wanna use a palette to do it. Now this is the, I think it's called this is the Badass palette from Tom Ford. This is it right here. It was a palette that got very bad reviews. And I used it once, I think I've used it twice. And I understand why it got bad reviews. However, the flip side of that coin is that I have really liked the looks I've made with it, even though that the quality sucks. But I think there's a number of things happening here. It's like, yes, it's more difficult than it should be for something that originally cost $88. However, I think what I have going on in my brain is that this is a bad palette, don't use it. Meanwhile, I have liked looks that I've created with it, so I guess what's going on? I guess this all boils down to, today, if I use it, can I make something beautiful and wonderful and creative? And if I can't, I might just declutter it and let someone else either use it. Well, hopefully someone else will want to try to use it because it is a Tom Ford palette. But that is what we're going to use as far as eyeshadow goes. But I'm going to go pick the rest of what I'm going to use today and we will come back and talk about it. I have found what I want to use, I think, today. So I normally do my eyeshadow first. Don't think that's going to work with underliner because it's all going to be right here. So we're going to start with complexion today, which is not something I often do. Well, I did it in my last video, but it isn't. Normally, I don't, that's just not my order. It's not my order of operations. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime with the Atelier face primer. If you're new to this series, I'm also kind of like treating everything like a first impressions, as if like I've never used it before. Just like with the eye primer from this brand, it's a very clinical scent. And it has like a gel texture. And it boasts of a demi-matte finish. I don't know that I've ever clocked it as like a true, like a matte. I don't know. We'll have to, when I'm editing, I'll have to like try to clock it before and after. Of course my face got more red because I touched it. Also, because I'm recording so many in a row often this month, I need you to know that I upped my retinol recently before I like decided to do this. So my skin is just like, it's not burning like super irritated, but it is definitely going through some motions right now. However, we have that on. We have that on. So next I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath foundation. I did a whole review on this. I'm going to link it in the description box below. So if you want to hear my like complete thoughts on this, go over there, check that out. I don't actually have that much of this left, so I'm excited to actually use it today because I would like it to be gone soon, please. I am batch filming today, assuming that this eye look turns out okay. Which it might not, because the last time I did a drop liner look, I didn't really care for the way it looked on me. Okay, so the Pat McGrath foundation, like I said, it has a, I don't know that I mentioned this in my video, it doesn't have like a perfumey smell, but it does definitely have like a smell. For concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Creamy Concealer. And I literally could not tell you the last time I used this. Oh no, it is darker than the foundation. Nothing like a low light. Nothing like a low light under the eye. I'm going to blend it out with my fingers. I like don't remember having opinions on this. I just remember thinking it's like fine. I know that it used to be like a YouTuber staple. Like YouTubers really used to like push this concealer. It is like thicker than I like my concealers to be at this point, especially for something that like, I don't know, isn't like full coverage and is like radiant and is like, you know, more emollient. It's gonna stay a little bit dewier throughout the day. Like, I just don't think I like the viscosity of this really at all. I just think it's like a little too thick. Anyway, I am going to just set my under eyes real quick with the Chantecaille blurring powder. This is one of the items that just doesn't get put in the bin, in the box. I'm just setting my under eye for now because I am about to go in with a couple cream items. Nope, one cream item. So for my blush, bronzer, and highlight today, I will be using the Burberry, what is this called? Essentials Glow palette. So the bronzer is a cream, but everything else is a powder. So we will play with that stuff later. But as for right now, I am gonna put this bronzer on. It's a scary color for me. Like, it's so dark. That's so dark. Let's just start blending this out. This bronzer is very, very ruddy. And so I don't think I like, it's not, I don't even know that it like looks bad. I just think that it's like not for me. The bronzer is the reason I ended up buying this palette. I like did not read at all that it was a cream, so that's my bad. Like that was my mistake. However, I think I'm gonna top it with this to see what happens, even though I'm not really sure what the intent of that particular thing in this palette is, but maybe it'll do something that will make me like the bronzer just a little bit more. And so I'm just gonna like quickly sweep my face with the Laura Mercier setting powder because it is like what I just grabbed. The Laura Mercier, well, actually setting powders, they can go in there. They can. And then I'm gonna do forehead and cheekbones with the Chantecaille blurring powder. If you are more interested in the blurring ability of this product, may I suggest the video I posted yesterday about the Battle of the Blurs, because that should help. That should help you. That should help you figure that out. I am, even though I have bronzer on, I'm gonna throw a contour on under just where I normally contour because I don't know. I feel like I don't need it. I feel like this bronzer is like, you know, kind of doing its thing, but I don't know. I just contour is such like a ritual part of my makeup application process. It'll just like beef up a little bit the cheekbones with the bronzer. Maybe blend out the bronzer just a little bit more. This is also not something that's part of this, like, I'm not going to throw it in the bin because it's one of my only contour palette, like contour colors. I have the Lunatic Cosmetics contour palette, which I used in another video, but I don't until I get through all of my blushes and bronzers, I'm not going to pull that one back out. And like that might not even happen before the end of this. So I did want to have, because I contour a lot, I did want to have it available. My skin's looking good. My skin is looking good. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to take, honestly, just like this. I don't think there's anything on it. And I'm gonna just, you know, take some of this, whatever this is, and just kind of like stamp it over where I have the bronzer. I don't know if that did anything. I don't know if that did anything. I feel like much like the tan palette from Natasha Denona, which I used in a video not that long ago, this bronzer feels like very editorial, just editorial. I don't feel like the blushes and highlights give me that same vibe, but there's like an editorial feel to them. Okay, and so I'm gonna take the darker of the two pinks, this one up here, as my blush. And then for the highlight, I'm going to actually take this one here. And I actually use an eyeshadow brush to highlight. I don't know, because I think if I use anything bigger than this, it's gonna, I just get highlighter everywhere. That's just in my nature. So I really like the way the blush and the highlighter worked, but the bronzer leaves a lot to be desired in this Burberry palette, for me at least. However, some people really like a very ruddy bronzer. Like they really like a red tone bronzer. They like more of a sunburn look as opposed to like a sun-kissed look. So if you're into that, you might like this bronzer, but Burberry highlighters and the blush, they're divine. They're divine. There's a lot to be said for that formula. Okay, now I think it's time. It's time to get to the star of the show. The star of the show, the Tom Ford Quad in Badass. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a real eyeliner first, and then I'm gonna just blend it out with some of these sparkly shades, which now that I'm thinking about it, feels like a big mistake. Only because there's glitter in them. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Something's gonna happen. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a powder. This is a powder black shadow, the Dark Matter pigment from Pat McGrath. And I'm going to just use this to like lay out the land as far as like where I want the eyeliner to go. If I don't like the angle, I can like fix it a little bit. Whereas I don't feel like I'd be able to do that if I just went in with a liner. I know this was like a trend that all the cool kids are doing, and I just want to be a cool kid. Well, actually I don't really, but I do want to figure out the trend, I guess. Although this trend has like come and passed. Has come and passed. Is that right? Has come and passed. That wasn't working as quite as well, so I'm now committed to using this black eyeliner from Pat McGrath. This is like from a kit from a long time ago. And then I'm gonna take, this is like just like a smudgy, that's not my color switch, a smudgy brush, and I'm gonna take this black glittery shade. I just feel like I'm gonna have so many regrets about this. And kind of like just dramatize. I don't think I have like the eye shape to pull off an under eye, really. I don't know what I think I'm doing, but I kind of look sad. Like I feel like I'm making myself look sad. You know what? I just don't. I look. What is happening? Why do I look so crazy? I think what I've decided is that I am also going to do eyeshadow on my eyelids. I'm gonna prep my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot. Listen, we live, we laugh, we learn, we love. And what we live, laugh, learned, and loved today is that I'm not meant. This isn't a trend for me. This is a trend for someone who has eyes shaped different than mine. And that is okay. What we're learning is sometimes a trend occurs and it just isn't for us. I look like, now, hold your comments here, but I feel like I look more like Boy George than I've ever looked with this, for whatever reason. For whatever reason, this is like really sending me. Okay. And I'm gonna set it with the MAC Paint Pot. I'm really cracking my shit up. I really am. Who do I think I was? I was like, we're gonna try again. And you know what's so funny? The first time I did under eyeliner like this, I was like, I think I just didn't do it right. So you know what? Also possible that I just am like not placing it right and not winging it in the right angle to make it look very sophisticated and cool girl. But let's just not. Okay. So let's come back into the Tom Ford quad. Also, every time I say Tom Ford quad, I just want to say like Lord Farquaad. I'm gonna just like essentially put that black sparkly all over and then maybe some of that silver sparkly on top, and we'll just go from there. Because, well, maybe I'll lay this down as a base, the burgundy. Like we'll do burgundy, we'll do it all over the lid. Is that color, or is there Okay, I like certainly wasn't expecting this burgundy to be this dark. I really wasn't anticipating it being that dark. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I kind of like the eye shape I created here, except this is not really. We're gonna pull it together. We're gonna pull it together. We have to pull it together. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Why is this burgundy black? Can someone explain? Why is it this color? Why are they two different colors? Tom? Hello? Tom? Mr. Ford? I have questions. I'm taking some of this like lighter shade and just diffusing the edges just a bit, because we went on a journey that I'm not sure I intended to take, nor that I'm sure that this eye palette intended to take me on. The eyeshadow palette really said, get rid of me. Okay, so my big brain plan is to use the black kind of just all over the lid. Okay, we're doing this look. It's a good look. It is just not the look that I set out to do. And you know what? Sometimes the makeup gods just just know better. They said they don't want to do an underliner. They're going to do an all over garage door, black, glitter, smoky eye. Yeah, I am, I guess. Thank you. I really look like some goth girl teen fantasy right now. In my Cody XOXO shirt from Peloton. Really the move. I am going to line. Oh, I do want to use the silver. Okay. I'm just gonna bloop the silver just like on the center. Is that something? I think we saved it. I think we saved it. Props to me. Kisses to the... Oh. Oh. Oh, we bronzed. We're so bronzy. I understand that this isn't the suggested application of bronzer, but I promise you, I didn't think I bronzed that much, but we did. We did. And sometimes we have to take responsibility for our actions, even though we didn't know we were going to have to. But I'm going to put in my waterline and my lash line, the Black Coffee eyeliner from Pat McGrath. Next up, I'm gonna spray my face with Fix Plus, and then we will continue this application. I'm gonna put on mascara. I only have one mascara open right now, so if you're new here, mascara is really not part of this project. This is the Fetishize mascara from Pat McGrath. This was a 100 point perk at some point, and I snagged it. I snagged a bunch of them. But my other mascara was starting to behave a little bit naughty. So it was her time to go. And then for the lip, we're gonna go vampy because, well, I already thought we were gonna go vampy, but we ended up going way vampier than I thought we would. This is the shade Full Blooded from Pat McGrath. It's the matte transform formula. This is the look we ended up with. Was it where we started? No, but I'm kind of fond of where we finished. This is, okay. So let's go through everything I used today, and I'll just talk about it real quick before I put it in the box. I think with a no brow, this strong eye, like in a real placement, like if I still had eyebrows, this shape would still have worked for me. Killer. Let's walk through everything one by one and just kind of reflect. Okay. The primer, I'm neither here nor there about, but the foundation did lay really well over top of it. So I guess I'm not, I guess I don't see the benefits nor the negative effects of this primer, but we had a good time, I guess, today. And I guess that's the kind of response that I'm hoping to not have with everything. Like, I really want to put things on my face and be like, oh, yes. Not like, oh, that was fine. That's like not the move. The Pat McGrath foundation looks really great today. Played really well. Did all the things I needed her to do. So, and I said in my review, I like this foundation quite a bit. It's just not something that I plan on repurchasing. I also am like weary of it having alcohol in it, just like a little bit. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use it because it has alcohol in it, but like personally, I just am like, did it need that? And I don't think it did. But anyway, Burberry palette. Okay, the thing is, what's happening with these intense bronzes is that as I'm applying them, I don't think they look good, but once I have everything else blended out into them, they end up looking really good. So I guess the bronzer, while I don't love it, it does look good. It does look good. It is an intense bronze. It is a very ruddy bronze. So it's like not my favorite, but it's something that I can definitely work with. Anytime I want to do something like very editorial, it's like gonna be this or the tan palette from Natasha Denona. But the blushes, that blush and highlight, they look stunning. Like my cheek looks stunning. So I love the highlighters, love the blushes, TBD on the bronzer. It was easy to apply, it blended, it just is very dark. It's very dark and very, very reddy. The NARS concealer, even though it was a little bit too dark, it blended out really well with my finger. And I think I used to apply this with a sponge, but I think the finger was the way to go. It really made it melt into my skin. So this is definitely something that I think I could definitely pan, like I can use it. It just is never at the forefront of my mind. So that's probably why I haven't used it in so long. It just, I reach for other concealers a lot more than it. However, I'm getting to the point where like, in my makeup collection, because this was definitely gratis that I received from Sephora when I worked for them, I'm getting to the point where it's just like, do I even want to bother fussing to pan with something that I like, but it's like not a love? Like, it's just like, do I want to use it? So I don't have the answer to that yet, but this is definitely something that I could see myself forcing myself to pan. However, I just don't think that this concealer is going to play well with the foundations I want to use a lot, but I will still have to do that. Like I'll have to try to use this with my Surratt foundation to see how it works, but so far so good. Honestly, also, you know, this is just me feeling the application. I'm not gonna be able to like comment on wear time in the series, just like putting things on my face, feeling, and like also seeing if I have like, you know, a That's So Raven moment where I like flash into the past or the future, or like, you know, have like a moment where I'm like, oh yeah, I really used to like this. So this one didn't really give me that, but I love the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It's not my powder of choice. I just have a lot of it, so always a delight to use. I think it did more the Pat McGrath one did for me the other day. The Pat McGrath eyeliner, I think they're very intensely pigmented. They actually have very good longevity because I've had this for a while. You can tell that this one's not it's full length. Maybe you can, but I have had to sharpen this many times. So this is good. I like it. And I like that it's also like a blackened brown as opposed to being a black. Even though it's still very dark, it's like not as intense and it's clockable. You can definitely tell the difference. These are not things that you can buy anymore. This is the Dark Matter pigment in the eyeliner from Pat McGrath from the Dark Star kit. This didn't really do anything for me today. It has done things for me in the past, so just today's application was just not in its favor. But this really did what I needed it to do. Just on that wing, it really defined it, worked really well, nice and smudgy. Lended itself well to the smoky eye I ended up with. This lipstick shade is badass. It looks so good. So full-blooded, I would like to wear this more, especially this season. Like super vampy, super pretty. It's like a burgundy. It's like a beautiful burgundy. Maybe tomorrow I'll wear McNemony, so we can compare, because I remember swatching this against McNemony in my lip swatches video where I was declaring my lipsticks, and I remember them looking very similar and me being like, I need to like take note the next time I wear them. So this one also, it's still, while it's a matte trans formula, this one has a little bit of a luster, which that gives it points because I don't really love a matte lip. And the star of the show is the Tom Ford quad. Now, I think we all need to be a little bit fair to it. In today's video, things went a little awry. We didn't really use it the way we had intended, but I will say, once I started using it for the smoky eye, things that got a lot better. Now, this shade is truly a little bit baffling because there's no like ruddiness to it once it's, you know, this feels like one of those shades that a lot of people really like a all over shade, but it is weird color. It is weird. And I don't know about it because whenever I started putting it on and it was like almost black, I was like, what is happening? This shade worked really well to help like soften the edges, like the perimeter. So I had no problems with that. It wasn't really like a blinding shade, but in the context of today's look, it did what I needed it to do. And then actually, so far, I'm not having any fallout with either of these glitter shades, and I think they look really elegant on the eye. So these don't feel like other Tom Ford shadows because I have a couple other of the quads. This is also the wet dry formula, and this is definitely the only of the wet dry formula that I have. However, it's like my only smoky eye palette that I could do something like this with. So while it wasn't the most easy to use and while I had to do a little bit of hustle, I don't know, I think that this look is actually kind of killer. We really turned things around here today, which was not something I thought we were gonna have to do, and this is definitely not where I thought we were gonna land, but I'm actually delighted. So the Tom Ford Badass Quad. Maybe you were ahead of your time. Maybe we just didn't understand you, but maybe now I understand you. So I don't know that this will get decluttered because I kind of thought it was going to, but I really like this eye look. Let me zoom you in so you can see my skin, see how everything's looking. Look at that glow. Oh my God, look at that glow. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are new here and you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. Also, I have a playlist of all of these videos where I'm putting things in the box and trying to use everything at least one time more before 2022. If you're interested in that, follow that playlist. If you're feeling like you want to donate to the cause, I also have a Patreon. It's 2 extra videos a month. It's a lot of fun. We're brand new over there, but we're having a good time. We're having a good time, and I have been posting like early access, but again, I don't know that this thing I'm gonna promise, just the 2 videos. But I had been ahead of the schedule with editing, so I was like posting those. There are some videos over there that are not available here yet, but they will be here soon. So if you wanna get a head start, you can head over there. If not, we'll just hang out here. If you want to catch me on Instagram or see any of the other work that I do, I have a link tree with podcasts and other things that I appear on. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And remember, follow your hood and you will find me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. Happy Messmas, friends.